Welcome to Start for English Learning channel, the past continuous tense. Past continuous tense. I was working. We were working. They were working. You were working. He was working. She was working. It was working. Please note, with I, we put was plus work plus ing. With pronouns we, they, you, we put were plus work plus ing. With pronouns he, she, it, we put was plus verb, work plus ing. Form. I plus was plus verb plus ing. We or they or you plus were plus the verb in its base form plus ing. He or she or it plus was plus the verb plus ing. ing spelling rules when we use the past continuous tense. There are ing spelling rules that we have to follow. Most verbs are regular verbs. Example, talk, we add the ing, talking. Shout, shouting. Read, reading. Cook, cooking. Verbs ending in E. Example, hope. It ends in E. We remove the letter E and we add ing. Hope, hoping. We've removed the E. Hate, hating. We've removed the E and then we add ing. Write, writing. Verbs ending in IE. Example, die. We remove IE and then we add Y plus ing. Example, die, dying. Lie, lying. Verbs made of one stressed syllable and end in consonant vowel consonant. Example, hit. Hit is made of one stressed syllable and it is made of consonant vowel consonant. We double the T and we add ing. Hit, hitting. Dig, digging. Run, running. We double the last letter and then we add ing. Swim. Swim, the last three letters, consonant, vowel, consonant. We double the last letter and we add ing. Swim, swimming. Stop, stopping. Plan, planning. Exception, words ending in the letter W or X or Y. Example, snowing, mixing, playing. We just add ing to the end of the verb. Verbs made of two syllables and end in consonant, vowel, consonant, and the last syllable is stressed. The last syllable is pronounced more emphatically. It is louder and longer than the other syllable. Example, begin. The last syllable is stressed. Therefore, we double the last letter, the N, and then we add ing. Begin, beginning. Submit, submitting. TT. Refer, referring. RR, and then we add ing. Exception, enjoying. We just add ing after the Y. Verbs made of 2 syllables and end in consonant, vowel, consonant. And the last syllable is not stressed. Example, listen. The stress is on the first syllable. Therefore, we just add ing. Listen, listening. Happen, happening. Offer, offering. The stress is on the first syllable. So we just add ing to the end of the verb. Verbs ending in a vowel and the letter L. In British English, always double the final L. Travel. Here, the stress is on the first syllable, yet we double the L. Travel, traveling. Control. The stress is on the last syllable. We double the L. Control, control. It doesn't matter. However, in American English, don't double the final L unless the last syllable is stressed. Travel. The first syllable is stressed. Therefore, we don't double the L. Travel, traveling, 1 L. Control. The last syllable is stressed. Therefore, we double the L. Control, controlling, LL. Negative form. I was not, wasn't driving. We or they or you were not, weren't driving. He or she or it was not, wasn't driving. Wasn't and weren't, they are the contracted forms of was not and were not. Question form. Was I driving quickly? Question mark. We just exchange the order of the pronoun and the verb. Instead of I was I. Were we or they or you driving quickly? Question mark. No, please note here that after were, we put the pronoun or the noun in the small letter. The W and the T and the Y, they are all small letters. Was he or she or it driving quickly? Question mark. The H, the S, the I, they are all small letters. Use. 1. For an action which was already happening in the past when another action interrupted it. I was eating when the doorbell rang. Please notice here that we have 2 verbs. 1 was eating. It is a past continuous verb. It is unfinished verb. It is an unfinished action. And the verb rang. Rang is a finished action. It is completed. So was eating is the past continuous verb. It was unfinished. It was incomplete. While rang is the past simple verb. It was complete. It was finished. Was eating is the long action. Rang is the short action. Rang is the short action. Was eating was interrupted by the verb rang. While I was washing my car, it rained. Was washing is the long action. Rained is the short action. Was washing is the past continuous action. It was unfinished. It was incomplete. Rained is the finished action. Was action, excuse me, what was washing, the verb was washing was interrupted by the verb rained. She was reading a story when Mark called. We have two verbs, was reading, past continuous. It was incomplete. It was unfinished. When another action interrupted it. Called, the verb called in the past simple interrupted the verb was reading. I fell asleep while I was watching television. Was watching is the past continuous verb which was interrupted by the short verb fell asleep. Two, for an action which was already happening at a specific time in the past, at exact time on clock. Example, yesterday at 6 o'clock, we were having dinner. We're having, this is the past continuous verb. We're having was happening before 6 o'clock and at 6 o'clock and after 6 o'clock. It is a long action. She was playing tennis at 8 a.m. Was playing is a long action. It was happening before 8 o'clock and at 8 o'clock and after 8 o'clock, and so on. I was watching a movie at 3 p.m. yesterday. Was watching, the verb was watching was happening before 3 p.m. and after 3 p.m. Excuse me, before 3 p.m. and at 3 p.m. and after 3 p.m. It's a long action. Okay? It was a continuous action. It was unfinished. Three, to refer to two or more ongoing actions happening at the same time in the past. Two continuous actions happening at the same time in the past. Two simultaneous actions. Two actions, two past continuous actions, they were happening at the same time. They had the same duration of time in the past. While he was reading, I was jogging. Was reading and was jogging, they were happening at the same time in the past. He was swimming while she was playing tennis. Was swimming and was playing, both actions were happening at the same time in the past. Continuous actions. I was watching a movie while my brother was sleeping. Was watching and was sleeping, both actions, they are past continuous actions. They were happening at the same time in the past. They are two simultaneous actions in the past, happening at the same time. Four, for an action in the past that was continuing for a period of time. Long actions. Example of time words: all night, all day, all morning, after school, from 5 to 8 p.m., till late evening, till 8 p.m. Long actions. It was raining all day, all day. It's an action that was continuing for a period of time. Was raining. An action in the past that was continuing for a period of time, all day. He was playing after school. Was playing is an action in the past that was continuing for a period of time, after school. He was watching a movie until midnight. Was watching is an action in the past that was continuing for a period of time, until midnight, after school, all day. These are time words which indicate a long period of time. They were playing computer games till late evening. Were playing is an action which was continuing for a period of time in the past. Till late evening indicates a long period of time in the past. Five, with words like always, constantly, to describe repeated actions or habits in the past in a critical way. Actions or habits which someone used to do and which we didn't like. Example, he was always telling lies. She was always complaining. Six, to describe a background of a scene. Example, the beginning of a story. Example, the sun was shining and the birds were singing. Describing a background of a scene. The boy was running. A black car was following him. We are describing a background of a scene. Example, the beginning of a story. We use the past continuous tense. And then when the real action of the story starts, we use the past simple. Time expressions. While, as, until, when, all day, all night, all morning, etc. While followed by past continuous tense. After a while, we put the verb in the past continuous tense. While I was shopping, comma, I met my friend, full stop. We put a comma after the first clause. Then we continue the sentence. I met my friend. This is the second clause. We have two clauses in the sentence. The first clause and then a comma and then the second clause. We can exchange the order of the two clauses. We can say, I met my friend while I was shopping, full stop. While I was studying, comma, my brother was cooking. My mother was cooking. While I was studying, comma, my mother was cooking. Was studying and was cooking, both actions, past continuous actions, they were happening at the same time. as followed by the past continuous tense. As I was crossing the street, comma, I saw an accident, full stop. We put a comma after the first clause when we start the sentence with as or while or when. We put a comma after the first clause if we start the clause with one of these words. We can exchange the order of the clauses and we say, I saw an accident as I was crossing the street, full stop. Until is followed by the past simple or simple past. Until followed by the past simple tense. I was studying until my friend called me. I was studying. Then what happened? My friend called me, interrupted my studying. After until, we put the verb in the past simple. Before until, we put the verb in the past continuous. When followed by the past simple verb. When the manager arrived, comma, I was writing an email, full stop. Notice here that we've started the first clause with when. Then we put a comma after the first clause. The verb that followed when is in the past simple. The second clause, we use the past continuous. Okay? We can exchange the order of the clauses. I was writing an email when the manager arrived, full stop. However, note, you can use when instead of while. The same use of while, but in informal speech, casual speech, okay? Example, when we were driving to work, comma, after the first clause, because we've started the clause with when we were driving to work, comma, we saw an accident. Past continued followed when, exactly as while. Then a comma after the first clause, and then we saw, past simple. We saw an accident. We saw an accident when we were driving to work. We've just exchanged the order of the clauses. So we can use when instead of while. One can have the same usage of while. In casual speech or informal speech, in American English. Last example, I was riding my bicycle when my sister was flying a kite. Was riding and was flying, both actions were happening, they were happening at the same time. Exactly as when we use while. Okay? Note, we do not use stative verbs or state verbs in the continuous form. We use the state verbs only in the past, in the simple form. We use the state verbs in the simple form. We never say he was liking, or he was loving, or he was hating. We say he liked, he loved. We use the state verbs in the past simple form, okay? So note, we do not use stative verbs in the continuous form. Example, verbs like, love, hate, sound, know, believe, remember, prefer, understand, and so on. State verbs are used in the past simple form, in the simple form of the verb. We never use it in the continuous form except in very rare situations. And rare verbs. Okay? That's it for now. Please don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.